Update the repair guy as he left. Wanted message passed to Tina, but I don't directly communicate with Tina. Others that communicate with her can inform her. Certainly the other neighbors heard it too, as he left out on his way to wedding. The guy did come around 1:40. He told me to tell Tina he came in a suit because he had a wedding to go to at 2 p.m. I told him if he didn't have time, he shouldn't worry about it, because he clearly had a bad attitude, making a big disturbance in the hallway by slamming doors and his tools. He was like, "Oh, it's not your fault." He said inside the apartment that he did not care if Tina found another company and that it wasn't urgent. It was only an oven igniter issue. I told him, since he had a wedding at 2 p.m., if he didn't want to do it, then don't, because he clearly had an unprofessional attitude inside the apartment. I told him again, if he didn't want to do it, then don't. Then he said, "It's not your fault." After he left, he loudly said in the hallway, "Tell Tina I came in a suit," and loudly added, "This is the last one." When he was inside, he said Tina could find another company. I told him since he had a bad attitude, slamming his tools around, that if he needed to go to his wedding, go ahead because I don't beg anyone to fix anything. He came here with a bad attitude, went to the wrong apartment building. I saw him outside coming from the wrong building. He probably forgot the building from last time and just had a bad attitude from the beginning. He did fix it though. So far, I don't hear any clicking noises like last time. The other neighbors heard him making a loud disturbance as he came out of apartment number 8. Inside the apartment, he said it's not your fault. I'm ticked off at Tina. He said this could have been arranged different day because of the wedding. He said it's only oven igniter issue, claiming it is not urgent, is his opinion. He said, "Oh, it's not your fault." He said he ticked at Tina. He said exactly. He said, "I don't even know who the hell Tina is, but she could find another company," his exact words. I do not make up fantasy fairy tales. I am repeating everything Josh Pehl said. If repetitive here, clearly. Well, he was very repetitive too. When he was rude, I let him know, "Hey man, if you cannot do it because of your wedding, don't." All that complaining was unprofessional. He said, "It's fixed." He said it was only an igniter issue. The bottom oven in the gas oven didn't turn on, but the top did work. He said it wasn't urgent to him because he had a wedding to go to at 2 p.m. He left out twice because he had to get more tools, and the second time he left, he had another loud message as he walked in the hallway each time. First, he yelled as he went, "Get more tools out, vehicle. This is not urgent," as walked out door loud talking. The second loud disturbance, as left fixing oven, was about asking me if I could tell Tina he was wearing a suit and it's the last one. He left a few minutes before 2 p.m. He said inside he usually doesn't work on Saturdays. He kept saying it was only an oven igniter issue, claiming not urgent. Maybe he a stove cooker, but I only use oven. I cleaned most of stove stains came out with oven cleaner from previous tenants. I do not use my stove. The mess found under the stove was not by me. The previous tenant had a mess on the stove. When I raised it up, most of the oven cleaner removed that stuck-on stove junk, but I do not utilize the stove. I only use the oven. I don't use the cabinets either, but they're still there. Well, anyway, I don't talk to Tina. Therefore, him asking me to pass a message to her about the suit was unnecessary. He could have told her himself. Others who talk to her can tell her what he wanted her to know so badly regarding what mentioned throughout. Before he said all that, I told him he didn't have to do it at all because he kept walking in and out, slamming doors and being rude and unprofessional. I'm sure I'll get blamed for his loud, unruly behavior. But the appliance guy from Pehl's company did leave a few minutes before 2 p.m. He kept complaining about the wedding he had to be at. I don't kiss anyone's behind, so I told him straight up, if you don't want to fix it, then don't, because I'm not about to deal with anyone's attitude. He said, "Oh, it's not your fault. I'm ticked at Tina," his exact words. He fixed it in barely 10 minutes and left a couple of minutes before 2 p.m. As he left with his tools, he loudly said in the hallway, "Can you tell Tina I came in a suit and this is the last one?" Tina can't say it was me or that I had loud, unruly guests over around 2 p.m. because it was the appliance guy who said Tina could find another company. He said the oven igniter issue wasn't urgent. It was not urgent to him. If a tenant uses only the oven, it is urgent. His nasty attitude is bad, and if Tina continues to do business with that rude company, that's all on her. I told him after his bad attitude he didn't have to fix it, period. I will not tolerate disrespect from anyone. After he got corrected, he was like, "Oh, it's not your fault. I'm ticked at Tina," he kept saying. I'm sure the catering company at the wedding uses an oven for baked tuna casserole and macaroni, so I am sure if their oven didn't work, that would be urgent. The first time he came, he opened the top of the stove. I didn't even know it was able to open because I do not use the stove. He showed me how to safely move the oven whenever I cleaned behind it, but I knew the clicking sounds were strange. But it going completely out was weird. I don't use the stove, only the gas oven, so I didn't understand why the gas oven wasn't working. He fixed it while complaining and slamming his tools around. Afterward, I said, "Hey dude, if you don't want to do it, then don't." Because he was loud and unprofessional. I'm already getting falsely accused of loud, unruly, boisterous is false. Not one person have me on camera making loud noise, and I don't play loud music, late night, my speaker not capable of being louder than neighbor below me. Today, it was the appliance guy coming out my apartment, number 8, twice loud, unruly, boisterous. I'll get falsely blamed again for his behavior too. He kept talking loudly as he walked out the door, making it clear he didn't want to do it because he felt fixing the oven wasn't urgent since he had a wedding to go to. I had notified Tina 4 days ago on 9/17. All the whining and complaining he did, yelling as he left, saying, "Oh, this isn't urgent, it's only an oven igniter issue," was his opinion claiming not urgent. The other issue took almost 5 days to get fixed. But it was after weekend of holiday beginning July, he was talking like he the only game in town based off everything he said, as mentioned throughout this recent time. Today, fixing second issue. Before he came, I didn't know oven repair works weekend or not. But he never notified me past 4 days. He was like, "Oh, it could have been arranged different day because of the wedding." He said, "It's not your fault. I'm ticked at Tina." But the way he acted in the hallway, making a big scene, making it appear like something else inside apartment. He toned down that he was loud as he was leaving out apartment complaining because wedding. We spoke this morning. He said around 2. He called to ask if top of stove work. I said yes, but oven don't work. I only use oven. He said he got a wedding at 2 p.m. He on the way, he got here at 1:40 p.m. I'm sure there will be a blind eye turned to it regarding his unprofessionalism. Regardless how I feel about anything, I told him I don't want to cost anyone more money, so if can direct me on maybe something I can do to fix it. But I don't want to mess with anything. He was like, "I'll be there around 2 to look at it." Inside apartment slamming tools around. He said after he had bad attitude didn't have to do it. Not forcing anyone at gunpoint. He said, "Oh, it's not your fault." He said, "I'm ticked at Tina." And I don't even know who the hell she is. His exact words. The way Tina spoke highly of back in beginning of July, I had assumed she'd been doing business with this company for repairs. He had bad attitude. Maybe he was on his time of the month that women usually deal with regarding his volatile mood swings. No one forced him at gunpoint to come here or to be here. I showed him video of issue not turning on before he came. I checked everything again before he came. Oven still didn't turn on. I only use gas oven. Therefore, it was urgent to me, regardless of how anyone feels, bottom line, period. He also kept talking about the wedding, saying he doesn't usually work weekends. I notified Tina 4 days ago, September 17th, so all his complaining was unnecessary. He yelled as he left, "This isn't urgent. It's only an oven igniter issue." I only use the oven, not the stove, so I need the gas oven to work. He kept saying it wasn't urgent, only an igniter issue, and that he was ticked at Tina. He also said she could find a new company. He yelled as he left for the second time, "Tell Tina I came in a suit, and this is the last one." Everyone knows I don't talk to Tina, but others can pass the message from Josh at Pehl's Appliance Company. Anyways, the oven has been fixed. I tested it, but if anyone lies and says I had noisy, unruly guests over around 2 p.m., it's false. It was the appliance guy causing a big scene because he didn't feel the oven was urgent since he had a wedding. I'm sure Pell's Appliance isn't the only company in Rockford, but he made it clear, loudly in the hallway, to tell Tina he came in a suit and that it was the last one. So, like I said, no one can falsely blame me again because I didn't have any loud guests. Whatever message he had for Tina, he could have told her himself, but I don't talk to Tina. Others who know her can pass on what he wanted her to know about the suit. He didn't have to fix it if he didn't want to, as I told him multiple times. Anyways, the oven has been fixed. It was clicking like last time he fixed it in July, so clearly something was wrong with it. But now it's been fixed. That's the final update regarding that message. The Pehls guy wanted passed over, so everything was already mentioned in detail throughout period. Pehl's Appliance Company, Unprofessional Service Experience. I had a repair scheduled today with Josh Pehl from Pehl's Appliance Company, and unfortunately the experience was far from professional. Josh arrived around 1:40 p.m., visibly agitated and openly complaining about having to attend a wedding at 2 p.m. He even made a loud scene in the hallway, slamming his tools and loudly voicing his frustrations. He repeatedly mentioned that the oven igniter issue wasn't urgent, in his opinion, and said he didn't care if Tina, who arranged the repair, found another company. I don't directly communicate with Tina, so his request to pass along a message about him being in a suit was unnecessary. Multiple neighbors also heard his loud, unprofessional behavior as he came out of apartment number 8, making a big disturbance. He even claimed he doesn't usually work on Saturdays and made it clear that he was ticked off at Tina, not me. Josh Pehl's repeated comments about the repair being not urgent were frustrating, considering that I only use the oven, not the stove, so it was important to me. I told him multiple times, if you don't want to fix it, don't, as I refused to deal with anyone's bad attitude. After fixing the oven, he left, loudly announcing in the hallway, "Tell Tina I came in a suit, and this is the last one." A completely unnecessary display. The repair itself seems to be done for now, but the overall experience was extremely unpleasant. I wouldn't recommend Pehl's Appliance Company if this is how they treat their customers. If Tina decides to continue using their service after this, that's entirely up to her, but I won't tolerate any further disrespect from this company. Any replies to any online reviews will not be read. In the past, I've made examples out of rude grown men that had a worse attitude than bitchy women, as if on a menstrual cycle. Most men are insecure around confident lesbians. Most men are beta males but portray themselves as alpha males when, in truth, they are beta. Men who behave that way usually secretly go both ways. Real heterosexuals don't act loudly feminine like that. Regardless of who provoked me, he's lucky I took the high road because, in the past, most men who provoked me wish they hadn't tested the waters. Most underestimate me and find out they barked up the wrong tree. The way he was acting, he was looking for a fight, but no man or woman will ever punk me, especially not this New Orleans woman. I like peace, not drama, but bullies will not be tolerated. I don't give a damn who the devil is busy trying to provoke, hoping I go to jail reacting, but they cannot keep poking. Louisiana Black Bear, we are peaceful until provoked. Devils better leave me alone with provoking, because I am not a doormat to anyone. Nobody is punking me. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't care about location. No one is punking me the way he was acting, itching for a fight. Devils constantly stay busy. I told him he didn't have to do the oven. I will never beg anyone. There was never a gun pointed at his head to do the damn oven. Therefore, his bitching, whining, and complaining were unprofessional, making a big scene. It's so funny to me now. The majority of Illinois people, especially Rockford, are so fake and weird. Like 98% of the population all over the country have bad attitude bozos. But some cities are worse than others. Some states worse than others. The way the appliances around here stop working often, maybe the place is haunted. Obvious sarcasm, but no one forced anyone to repair anything. With everything that goes on around here, I'm sure folks don't miss this place at all. It's funny to me how certain folks act as if a certain situation, as if it is the best can do. Folks better think again. Most folks like to play dumb or extra dumb or whatever, but I can play dumb too. But I am not dumb. But folks can assume whatever I know what I am and what I am not. The majority of business owners, will not accomplish a third of what I will in my lifetime or their lifetime. Most will be clueless how a person 10 steps behind someone else who is actually wealthy, without loans to mortgage things, will be completely baffled by how the hell I surpassed such and such. Whenever I decide, I'd rather someone assume I'll be poor forever. I honestly don't give a damn. Assume whatever, it doesn't matter. I traveled to more countries as my own boss. Anything attained in the past, I'll surpass that. I'm in competition with myself, not another person on earth. I'm in a league of my own, win or lose, and rich, poor, or otherwise. The majority of people are fake, and no amount of money can buy realness. Well, anyways, the majority of people, like these mouthy baboons in the Midwest, would not last a day in New Orleans with all that mouth. There are folks there with less tolerance than me, and the majority of people from New Orleans do not mind going to jail when folks are itching for war. We are peaceful until you keep pushing buttons. Then I'm like, okay, if this dude keeps pushing buttons, I'll be in jail today. He was doing the loud yelling, not me. But if he continues pushing buttons, I don't care if I lose the apartment because I had to make an example out of another bully. It doesn't matter anyway. I have other options that I don't have to share with anyone. Folks can assume whatever. I guarantee the majority of cowards, if they ever visited New Orleans, were on their best behavior because yapping their jaws, testing the water. Most in my city will make folks drown in a different way. As the saying goes, test the water, I'll make you drown. Bullies will not be tolerated. I don't give a damn if everyone cannot stand me, that's fine. I'll never be fake. No situation will ever mentally break me, and I mean what I say, period. The majority of folks that come to New Orleans are on their best behavior. New Orleans is in a league of its own. We are not Chicago. We are a different level with far less tolerance for foolishness. You cannot keep poking that Louisiana black bear. Do not take my kindness for weakness, you princess poodle. Most men need to come out of the closet. The majority of men in this country secretly go both ways with all that beta male feminine energy. Like I said, you cannot keep provoking the Louisiana black bear. New Orleans folks are peaceful until provoked. Well, anyways, when I put someone in their place, I let karma, the greatest manager, do the job in mysterious ways, a lifetime for all devils. How about that? Replies to this review won't be seen or read after I've put folks in their place, blocked them, and let karma do the rest. Period.